Men, 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 men. Doesn't it feel good to be a man? Doesn't it feel good to be able to grab your junk and know that it's your junk and it's always gonna be there because it's your junk and nobody can take your junk away from you because you're a man, baby? Yes, it does. But you know something, guys? In this manophobic culture that we live in, they want to act like it's somehow something to be shameful of or to be ashamed of to be a man because they suffer from severe and probably terminal manphobia. That's what it is. Manophobia is what we have out here. A bunch of manophobics. And I guess, everywhere you look, and I just want to ask you guys a question. Just a quick question. For this generation, and by this generation, I mean young and old. I mean everybody who's out there. I want to know something. How does it feel? How does it feel knowing that we have to be the biggest generation of fucking dumbasses ever to walk the countryside? That's pretty much us. What's happening with this generation right here? We are so fucking stupid that we can take a line like, to boldly go where no man has gone before. And we can make it a point of saying that it's outdated, that it's not just men, it's women too, as if like the past 50, 60 years worth of people, and that's a lot of people who didn't bring this up, didn't understand, or maybe they understood and we don't understand that when he says man, or when the word man was used, it usually meant mankind. People usually focus on the man part, but there's the mankind. Within that mankind, you will find men, women, children, everybody. And everybody back then in previous generations understood that. You know what I'm saying? But we have to be that generation that's got to pick every fucking thing apart, and we let these morons, we let them gain traction, and now the shit is out of control. Okay, so what am I talking about? Of course, you saw the thumbnail. You know what's been going on. We're talking about the X-Men. That's what we're talking about right here. All right, so let's get into this, guys. This is the gospel according to Mark with a C. He is I and I am he. Just taking some time to tell you exactly what's on my mind. Thank you for joining me once again, my friends. And you know something, guys, I was just looking at this the other day. Now, I know it's a little worse for wear, but this shit is something like over 20 years old, all right? These are the Marvel Masterworks hardcover, kind of like, okay. So, so Marvel Masterworks, right? And these are reprints of all of the golden age of comics. I got Spider-Man, I got Fantastic Four, I got Avengers. This one is X-Men. You know what I'm saying? Isn't that beautiful? All right, you have the beautiful art of Jack Kirby, one Mr. Jack Kirby, written by the legend himself, Stan Lee. These were the best of the best. You know what I mean? There was nothing ever wrong with it. It wasn't outdated. This was visionary material, okay? It was imagination at its finest and at its best. But what do we have going on today in this era of manophobia and dumbassery? We have people who have decided that the term X-Men would be outdated because the group includes women. And the funny thing about that is they're trying to prove a point about it not being representative of women when the X-Men title has showcased some of the strongest women superheroes ever created. You know what I mean? So why are you digging into this shit, trying to deconstruct it when we've gotten so much out of this? We've gotten some of the best characters, most unforgettable characters ever. But let me just read to you like a little bit of what set this off, right? So we're talking about this chick, Victoria Alonso, right? And back in 2019, and it's a damn shame because here it is 2 years later, but it's still gaining traction, and it looks like this shit is going to happen because the X-Men are about to move over into the MCU. The MCU, okay? And it says here, talking to Nuke the Fridge about the X-Men back in 2019, Marvel Studios president of physical, post-production, VFX, and animation, Victoria Alonso stated, and here it goes. I don't know where the future is going. It's funny that people call it the X-Men. There's a lot of female superheroes in that X-Men group, so I think it's outdated. It's definitely outdated because there's some women in the group. Well, because the chick like I said before, you're disproving your own fucking point. You know what I'm saying? Some of the most powerful heroes in the MCU or the Marvel Universe came out of the X-Men. And like I said, that wasn't gender specific. It was called the X-Men. All right, just because you're talking about a group of people, all right? I don't understand. I'm going to say something that's really fucked up, guys. You know, when I look back on the X-Men, the Fantastic Four, when I look back on Superman, you know, all of those characters that were created back in the day that are getting flack now because they weren't female enough or they weren't black enough. I swear to God, man, it's like sometimes I'm glad that there weren't more females around and there weren't more males around. Black people or anything else. If this is what it means when they finally do come into this, you know what I mean? But fortunately, I know that that's not the case, being that, you know, you might have noticed, but I am a black man, you know what I'm saying? People who really love this shit, it was never an issue. You know what I mean? It was never an issue. It's these outsiders who come in who don't know what the fuck they're talking about, who decided now they want to tear down shit that they should be respectful of. That's not what you do. You go straight forward. You go forward and you be inspired by what Stan Lee and Steve Ditko and Jack Kirby and all of the greats created. You know what I'm saying? It's like, imagine if back then that's the way it is. You know, you come up with some dope title or you know, concept and somebody says, yeah, there's not enough black people. There's not enough women. You shouldn't call it X-Men. You should call it X-Women. You should call it X-Black Men. X-Black Men. You know, there's a Michael Jackson joke in there, but shit, I'm not going to make it because I love Michael Jackson. That shit is disrespectful. It's a damn shame that my mind had to go there. I'm sorry, Mike, wherever you are, one of the greatest of all time. The world will never see anything like Michael Jackson ever again. But anyway, like I was saying, if you're going to desecrate what's actually giving you an opportunity, like this chick has an opportunity to have a career based upon what these people created. You know what I mean? You don't fucking go and change the title of something that is legacy, that is tradition, that is legendary. You just don't do that shit. You know what I mean? Like, where are we going with this? Where are we going? When I say amen, and you, amen, 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 amen. Hey! Why is it gotta be amen? Why can't it be a woman? A woman. You know what I mean? Please rise. You know, no, that's not the way this shit works. You know what I mean? It's like, it's much ado over nothing is what it is. And if they do this, if they actually go and change the name of the X-Men for the MCU, Marvel would have lost all integrity. It's not Marvel anymore if you're going to do some shit like that. That's not what this is. It's not ever been what it is. It's never been that way. It's like, okay, back in the day, it's going to reflect the fact that it was the 60s. You know, X-Men have been around since what, like 1963. We're talking about damn near 60 years. That's 60 years of generations of people who knew what it was, you know, who didn't, like, it wasn't an issue for them. But like I said, today in 2021, or this chick, you know, saying this in 2019, or when they put it in the movie, you know, when they had Jennifer Lawrence say it should be called X-Women, like, fucking, are you out of your mind? Like, really think about this shit. You know, do you know how stupid you look saying something like that? I don't know who wrote that, okay? So I can't blame Jennifer Lawrence, but I'm just saying, guys, look, where does it stop? Where does it stop? It's like, once again, what the fuck is up with your imagination? Create something new. Create something that if you want to create something called X-Women, well, guess what? That title isn't taken. Create it. You know, but leave this shit alone that people actually spent. This is people's lives' work right here. You know, and it's not right that you should be doing that shit. I don't think that any women fans misunderstood this. I don't think that any women fans had any real beef with something like this. You know, just like any real black fans never had any beef with what they saw. You know, as far as there were no black characters. Of course, you know, black characters were introduced. I mean, listen, my son's name is Xavier, and that's because I always thought it was a cool name. You know, Professor X. My son always gets a kick out of that. You know, he wants to wear this hat and everything, but it's my hat. You can't wear it, son. It's mine. All right, but get your own. But anyway. So I'm just saying there's a universal appeal there. And I just think that it's disgusting that we live in this age today with the manophobia and manophobic people who are infiltrating all of this. And they're just really jealous. You know what I'm saying? They're jealous because they don't have a penis. Yeah, I said it. That's what it is. It's like you wish you had one of these swinging low. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not going to apologize for it. Mine is big and it's black and it's beautiful. I'm losing my mind up in here. But it's true. You know, and you got to deal with it. Listen, what you got is beautiful too. I love the kitty. I do. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to hold that against you. Why should we be competing? There are so many more wonderful, beautiful, sensual things that we could be doing with our time rather than engaging in some ridiculous battle of the sexes when it comes to comics and, you know, creativity and all that stuff. It's ridiculous, guys. So anyway, look, that's what's going on. I don't know what's going to happen here. I haven't heard anything from Feige or anybody else like that, you know, as far as going forward into the MCU. But it wouldn't surprise me because of where we are today that there's this fundamental misunderstanding and misconception about what all of this really is, you know, and what it all means. So they're actually going to do that. They're going to open this up for conversation. Like, you know, that's like the dumbest shit in the world. Of all the things that we have going on today, somebody is looking at the X-Men saying that they need to change the title because it's outdated. Get the fuck out of here. But anyway, guys, that's all I have to say about that bullshit. You know, you guys get in the comment section. Let me know how you feel about this. Do you feel like, in the interest of like all fairness, do you feel that this has any merit? Do you actually think that the name X-Men do you think that that's sexist? Do you think that it's outdated? Are you offended by that when you were growing up? Is that something that hurt your feelings? I don't know. Let me know. You know, get in the comment section. It's open for everybody. Come on in, children. Come, children. Come. And share your feelings. And as always, guys, you can like, you can share, you can subscribe, and catch me on Twitter. If not, I'll catch you on the next one, guys. Thank you for listening from the bottom of my heart. This is the Gospel According to Mark with a C. Rock on as I grab my junk. Man.